Hold up. Trying to prop my phone up because I don't have my phone. I just had this thing propped up so perfectly just a second ago, but let's see. Doing bad at the prop job. However, it's whatever. I hope y'all can hear me. Um, this camera probably better this way anyway, so y'all can't really see what I'm doing. Um, hey, yep, I'm back. I saw the Barbie movie and I loved it. Like, I actually did the full on dress up and everything, okay? Because I was so into Barbie when I was younger, and I always wonder why they never really came out with like an actual Barbie movie, like with real people. The Barbie movies were always like animated or like really like 3D type of movies. So I feel like this was the first time that, you know, you got to see it from a human perspective. And you didn't see the movie, it's all right. Well, if you should go see it because it's really good. Like, it has a really good message. And I'm gonna say, if you're a guy or a girl, it's a really good movie to watch because the storyline is basically, now I'm getting ready to tell it. So if you're gonna go see it and you want to hear about it, then stay. But if you don't want to hear what the actual film is about, you might want to click off. Okay, all right, I'm gonna tell you. So the Barbie movie is basically centered around how, first and foremost, how Barbie was like the first adult experience that you got to have with dolls, because traditionally with dolls, you get a doll and it's usually like a little baby. Like, you know, you pretend to be like a mother or whatever. And when Barbie hit the streets, it was like you could have this whole glamorous lifestyle and be this glamorous woman and have all of these glamorous things. And, you know, you don't have to play mommy anymore. Like, you could play the boss chick, you can play whoever you want to play, basically, with Barbie. So it kind of started off giving you, like, you know, the history of the impact that Barbie made. And then it went from the impact that Barbie made to the negative connotation that Barbie had on the world, on the world and on women, because of the unrealistic expectations. So what basically happens in the film is Barbie one day, she's like, you know, she has a wonderful life. And then randomly she starts thinking about bad stuff. So she's wondering what's going on, you know, mentally, because everybody's looking at her when she makes a statement like, you ever think about death? And like literally Barbie world just stopped. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So basically, she goes to visit this crazy Barbie. I forget what they were calling her in the movie, but she goes to visit this Barbie that had so many different experiences. Yes, it's a really deep movie. It's a really, really, really deep movie. It's not for kids at all. Like, it's not a kid movie at all. Like, I was actually supposed to go. I'm going again with my daughter, and I was supposed to go with my daughter, her little cousin, and her aunt, but I don't think that my daughter's little cousin should go. Well, she probably could, because she'll probably understand, because she's like a grown lady a little bit anyway. But yeah, it was a really, really deep movie. And if your kid is not really like with it, don't take them to see that movie at all. But back to what I was saying. So she visits the crazy Barbie that has had all of these wild experiences from the person that was playing with her, like some girls go through the phases of destroying their Barbies and cutting their hair wild and drawing all over them with markers and doing all types of stuff like this. And that's what the crazy Barbie lady was. That's what the crazy lady was. So she went to go see her because all of a sudden her feet went flat. And this is stereotypical Barbie because that's basically what it was about, who they were talking about in the film. But her feet had went flat. She went to go see the crazy Barbie. And the crazy Barbie basically explained to her that if you want to know what's going on and why you're having all of these strange feelings about yourself, you need to go visit the real world. So she wanted to know how to get to the real world. And she ends up, the crazy Barbie tells her, like, girl, you just drive there. You drive to the real world. So Barbie jumps in her little car or whatever. She's on her way to the real world. And as she's on her way driving, she's in the car by herself. And then the next thing you know, Ken jumps out the back. So Ken is in the car with her and he scares her half to death. She's now going to the real world with Ken as well. And they get to the real world. And then Ken starts to see in the real world that it's actually about men. Like, men are respected in the real world, and that, men are seen as the more important party in the world. So Ken is completely turned out by how men are being treated. Barbie, on the other hand, she's having a totally different experience because she realizes that her impact wasn't as good and as wonderful as she thought it would be. Now, some parts, obviously, I'm going to leave out, but I'm just basically trying to give the gist of the storyline. Where was I at? So, Barbie is there. She's looking for the girl who's playing with her so she can figure out why she's having these thoughts. So she's sitting down and she kind of basically has like this little meditation session where she goes into her subconscious mind and she sees this school and she sees this girl sitting down at the table. So she's assuming, she goes to the girl's school and she walks up to the girl and she's like, hi, I'm Barbie and blah, blah, blah. And the girl is looking at her like she's absolutely nuts. So, she's talking to the girl. She's explaining to the girl that she's Barbie. And the girl is basically like, we don't play with Barbies. Like, we kicked Barbies to the curb like a long time ago. Like, this is an absolute, like, we don't even get why you standing here right now. Like, you ruined the image of women. You make women feel bad about themselves by trying to live up to your standards and be perfect or whatever. So that's when it hit Barbie like, oh snap, it's not all peaches and strawberries like I thought it was. So she walks away from the girl because the girl totally annihilated her. And when she goes to walk away, that's when Mattel pulls up on her, and Mattel, the people that work there, they're like chasing her because they're trying to get her back in the box because they can't believe that she escaped and went to the real world. So as they're chasing her, I believe the girl mom pulls up and she's telling her mother, like, this crazy lady come walking up to me talking about some she Barbie or whatever. So the mom was like, well, where is she at? Where was she headed? So they start following, she starts following the Barbie or whatever. And she ends up helping the Barbie out. And then Barbie quickly realizes that it wasn't the daughter that was playing with the doll. It was the mother. And the mother actually worked at Mattel. So she ends up talking with the mother about her experience and why she started creating all of these weird Barbies. Not necessarily weird, but Barbies that had real true emotions versus Barbies that had just labels and titles like a ballerina or a mermaid or whatever. She started coming up with, like, let's just say anxiety Barbie, or like just whatever. So Barbie realizes that the mother started creating these things because that's what's more kind of a little bit relatable. Um, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember Live and Die with Tyra Banks. I do remember that, and that was kind of like Barbie-esque a little bit. But yeah, she realizes that Barbie realizes what the issue is. So what ends up happening is she's running away from Mattel and she's trying to get away from them. She ends up taking the owner of her actual Barbie back to the Barbie world, because what ended up happening was Ken got so turned out by everything that he saw in the real world, he took it back to Barbie land, turned it into Ken land or world or whatever. And then they had all the chicks doing what they say, and like he was running the joint. Like he had his fur coat on, he was in his Ric Flair bag, and he was just running stuff. And everybody thought he was so cool, and everybody thought that he was just this, this leader, and it was about, patriarchy and all of that. And Barbie took her owner back to Barbie world to fix everything that Ken had did as far as making it a man's world. And they went back. Of course, the men had all of the women under a spell, and basically she took the owner of her back with her to explain to the other Barbies, how they got hypnotized by the men, and she was basically brought back to deprogram the other Barbies so that they could take back Barbie world or whatever and make it back to the way it was. And of course it's a lot of stuff surrounding this, and it's a lot of stuff in between, but it's basically kind of like men versus women. And it's I think that mess with those kids, that all the dolls they played with were white. Well, you know what's so crazy? When I was younger, like I did have white Barbies, but I mainly had, I feel like I had more black ones than white ones. But I never really paid their skin color any mind. Like when I was younger, I just didn't pay that any attention. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm light-skinned, but I don't know. Like, it never really, I don't know. I don't know what type of effect. Now, granted, I know that some people, I think one of the black Barbies names that I can remember, it was like Shani that I had. But the movie is a really, really good movie, and the storyline is just right on brand for everything that's going on in the world right now. So I would definitely go see that movie, and they made a lot of money this weekend. Everybody wore their pink, and the guys and the girls included. Everybody was super, into it. And a lot of subliminal messages. There were a lot of kids in the theater actually when I went yesterday too, and it was kind of like, you ever go somewhere and you see kids and it's kind of like, I really don't think, like one time I was, my daughter when she was younger, she was like, oh mommy, I want to see this movie, it's called Bad Teacher. So I didn't even look into it because I'm like, it's called Bad Teacher. It got to be like some kids and students and probably something like that. I never looked into it. I get to the movie theater. We sit down. The opening scene is literally Cameron Diaz like getting head or something like that. I was so freaking embarrassed. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm sitting here watching Bad Teacher and I'm literally like a freaking bad parent. Like, I'm feeling like a bad parent right now. This is a mess. But Um, if your kid is mature, then cool, but it's definitely an adult film. Um, yeah, looking like when I was a kid, I never really um skin color just wasn't a thing. Like I swear, it wasn't. It didn't pop. Like I had so much stuff to go with that stuff, so it was kind of like um I just was playing with all of the stuff that I had and dressing them up and doing their hair because I was always into hair. So the idea of them being black or white or whatever that never crossed my mind. They touched on some things in the movie too that was funny because I can remember when the pregnant Barbie hit the streets and they was like, "Oh no, we not doing that." Like certain things that they brought to the Barbie table, the brand just wasn't having it. Like they just weren't having it. But yeah, I never really thought that far into it. And I never really thought about emotions either. Like Barbie was just this super glamorous doll that you played with and that you wanted everything to go with it. And you just wanted as much stuff as you could possibly get. Like every time you went to the toy store or any store for that matter, you always seen like one of the little cardboard things with the clothes on it. Like I remember like just buying the clothes. I remember buying the little mini Barbie hangers for the clothes. Like I was literally Barbie crazy. So, what would I say? I would for sure say that the movie is rated E for everybody that is an adult or mentally you got it up here because some of these kids be with it, like I said. But definitely a movie that'll make you think. It may put something into perspective for you. I felt myself getting emotional at times. I don't know why. Well, I do because I feel like it kind of like it makes you reminisce on your childhood and how they had the movie set up. Um, I grew up. I had the Sunshine Family. I grew up. I never heard of that. What's that? Um, what would I say that was the downs of the film? I loved the fashion. I saw that Barbie at one point she came out, she had the Chanel outfit on and she had this Chanel vintage bag from the 90s and it's like if you wanted to buy one now it's like $60,000. Margot Robbie looked really, really beautiful as Barbie. Like I wasn't really too sure, but um the hair definitely could have been better, especially Issa Rae's wig. Like it was giving Little Bo Peep. I didn't like the wig. I didn't like. I love Issa Rae for who she is and what she is, but as far as her being a Barbie, you should watch it. Seriously, watch it. It's gonna be you're gonna take something from it. I'm not sure what it's gonna be, but yes, for sure. For sure they did ruin it for the kids. It's not for the average kid. But I feel like it'll spark something in you or like make you think. It'll make you think for a second after you get done watching it. And I want to watch it again just to see the things that I missed and the things that I may not have paid attention to. But back to the Issa Rae thing for a second. I love Issa Rae. However, I feel like in the movie, first and foremost, let me start here. I expected somebody more along the lines of like a Coco Jones. I feel like she would have been perfect. That was my number one pick for the Black Barbie. I feel like because she's on the rise right now, she would have been the perfect person to to have that role. I feel like she gives Beverly Hills. She gives luxurious black girl. Not saying that Issa doesn't, but I just feel like Issa is more of the, you know, comfortable black girl. Not, I don't see Issa Rae, no shade, and see a glamour girl. Like, I don't see glamour when I see her. So, yeah. I even would have took like a Keke Palmer. The other girl that was there, I'm not sure if she was a Puerto Rican girl or what, but I would have liked to see like a Zendaya. It's another girl too that I had named. But anyway, Issa Rae kind of had that. She was the president, Barbie. So they kind of had her in a masculine role that I kind of wasn't really feeling too much. Like at one point she had a sweatsuit on, and it's like, like considering the fact that I played with Barbies, like I never went to the store and saw a Barbie sweatsuit and picked it up and wanted to put it on my Barbie. Like Barbie was about dressed up glam and you know all of that, and that wasn't, it just wasn't Barbie to me. I don't know where they got that idea from. No, for me. Will Ferrell was really, really funny. I had no clue that he was going to be in the film until that day. Like, I had no clue that he was going to be in it. Now, I heard of Holly Hobby. But, yeah, I'm probably going to see it again this week. And then I'll probably watch it again on the Fire Stick. But let me think. What else did I want to say? They have representation for the bigger girls, for the chunkier girls, for the heftier girls, which that wasn't a thing back in my Barbie day. But it was cool because it was inclusive, I guess. Didn't bother me. But, yeah, what else? There haven't been a lot of movies lately that I said, you know what, I'm going to watch this again. The movies that come out now, just like the music, is kind of like one and done. Like, you could listen to it one time or watch it one time, and that's all you need to see. Like, seriously. In recent times, I haven't, like I said, not too many movies that I've seen. I would watch King Richard again. King Richard was a really good movie. You know, so crazy about collectibles. I had a few of them back in the day, and my mom was like, "Don't open this up because when you grow up, it's gonna be worth money." I was like, "Girl, bye." I opened them things up, had them things all over the place, had their clothes off and everything. Child, my mom was sick of me. But back to my list. King Richard, I would watch that again. The movie Praise This, with oh my god, why I can't, the Chloe Halle Bailey, whichever one of them was in it, and D'Amigo, I would watch that again. What's the other, it was another movie that I said I would watch again. 1001. I'm gonna watch that again. That was the movie that Tiana Teller was in, which I'm gonna do a review on that movie because it was really, really, really good. What else did I see recently that I would watch again? Nothing's popping to me, so like I said, ain't too many movies that I've seen recently that I would watch again. But this week I'm also gonna try to watch They Clone Tyrone or Who Cloned Tyrone or whatever the Jamie Foxx movie is because I just want to see what's going on with that. But yeah, we gonna get into that, and I'm gonna do a review on that one too. Let's see what this says. Kylie Jenner look like a Bratz doll. I haven't seen her in a while, but she does. She definitely has a very, very synthetic look about herself. Which, if she like it, I love it, honey. The girls is eating it up, and she's making bank off of it. So, I mean, I guess she better run it up while she can, because do it while you can before people get sick of you. Yes, I watch a lot of YouTube, but I usually watch movies when people refer them to me, or people say like, "Oh, you gotta watch this movie. This was a really, really good movie." But haven't been too many that I wanted to rewatch. But y'all check out that Barbie movie if y'all want. Y'all better fire stick it or do something, cause yeah, it's a good one. I wouldn't lie to y'all. I wouldn't set y'all up and make y'all waste your time. The other thing too is that I want to say about movies. Stop making these movies 2 hours. Like, get me out of there in an hour and 20 minutes. That movie was actually filled up with a lot of little fluff and a lot of little musical, because it's almost like a little musical too. A little bit too much fluff. Y'all could have shortened that down to at least an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 20. Bring that time frame down a little bit. Don't nobody want to sit down for all that time over with no movie. Like, But I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here with me. Air hugs. And I will see y'all in the next video.